be a spokesperson for a cigarette company.
But you're a role model to young people. And we're thinking of retiring Menthol Moose.
Number 10. Sending Our Love Down the Well. Throughout the 80s and early 90s, fundraising campaigns for various social causes resulted in several charity singles. Think We Are the World, Do They Know It's Christmas, and even Heal the World. But questions followed on just how much funding was going through, as well as about cultural motivations, or whether it was all a performative effort by pop stars for free PR. For the Simpsons send-up of the phenomenon during its third season, we see Krusty the Clown rounding up several celebrities, including Sting, for We're Sending Our Love Down the Well.
And we're sending our love down the well. All the way down.
The campaign is meant to help a boy apparently trapped down a well, but it's actually one of Bart's pranks. Strangely, not one single celebrity seems to realize that their time would be better spent trying to rescue the boy rather than recording a song together.
What are your plans for the royalties?
Well, we gotta pay for promotion, shipping, distribution. You know, those limos out back, they aren't free. Whatever's left, we throw down the well.
Number 9. The greatest boy band on earth. The late 90s saw a massive explosion in commercial pop music with artists like Britney Spears, the Backstreet Boys, Spice Girls, and NSYNC experiencing seemingly overnight success and superstardom. But the backlash was equally powerful, highlighting market saturation and a formulaic corporate and producer-driven sound. Basically, the promotion of form over substance. This is perfectly parodied in The Simpsons' 12th season when music producer LT Smash forms Party Posse, a new boy band made up of Bart, Milhouse, Nelson, and Ralph, none of whom can really sing.
Just take it from the top.
Party Posse, we rule the earth, the greatest band since music's birth.
Ugh. Thank you, NASA.
Luckily, LT has access to NASA-created voice-enhancing software, otherwise known as Studio Magic, perfectly nailing the idea that the contemporary pop industry was more marketing than music.
There's trouble in a far-off nation. Time to get in love formation.
Number 8. Hipsters' Paradise. The modern hipster emerged in the late 90s as a counterculture lifestyle, rejecting mainstream trends and mass consumerism, embracing vintage fashion, artisanal products, and, well, being cool.
Portland just got too played out. The city used to be real. Do you know there are now restaurants there with 2 locations? Not near my kids.
But the sheen wore off quickly, and hipsters were soon seen as performative and sometimes hypocritical. This back and forth is on full display in The Simpsons' 24th season. After meeting cool donut entrepreneur Terrence, Homer embraces his inner hipster, and Springfield rapidly becomes the newest hipster's paradise, leaving Marge to deal with elitist breastfeeding mothers, while Bart and Lisa become bored with Terrence's son T-Rex's ironic detachment and penchant for vintage toys.
Let's just watch TV.
A TV? We don't own a TV.
I didn't know that was an option.
I think I'm done here. Lisa, go nuts.
The episode even tips its hat to Portlandia, a sketch comedy show that also parodies hipsters by casting leads Fred Armisen and Carrie Brownstein as Terrence and his wife Emily.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
That's how we say no.
Number 7. A rich online fantasy life. The MMORPG, or massively multiplayer online role-playing game, exploded in the mid-2000s with the release of World of Warcraft. The online fantasy game allowed players to create characters and interact with their fellow gamers within immersive worlds.
Earthland Realms is a multiplayer online role-playing game Do you agree to the following terms and conditions?
But for many, this fun hobby became an all-consuming pastime, often with real-world consequences.
Will you undertake a quest on my behalf?
Maybe I should run this by my husband first.
Things are more fun if you just answer yes.
Then yes.
While other shows at the time took a more critical stance on the genre, such as South Park's Make Love Not Warcraft, The Simpsons' take is more referential, as Marge subscribes to the in-universe game Earthland Realms in an attempt to become more tech-savvy and get closer to Bart. Though not heavy on satire, the episode does poke fun at in-game avatars and at least somewhat references how people can become hooked on gaming.
How could you kill your own mother?
It was just a game. A game I used to enjoy before you mommed all over it.
Number 6. Video games take over Lisa's life. Speaking of video games, in 1994, Sony broke into the console market with the PlayStation, a compact disc-based system that offers up better graphics and audio.
I got a little surprise for you here. Check it out. What do you think about that? We got real-time, 3D, lush organic environments. How's that make you feel, buddy?
What set them apart from competitors was marketing, branding the PS1, as one journalist noted, a lifestyle accessory rather than just a kid's toy.
You shouldn't be watching the Learning Channel. You need to take it easy.
But I'm hardly learning at all.
Why don't you play with one of Bart's video games instead? Hugh Downs says they're the latest craze.
Ironically, The Simpsons parody of the PlayStation and one of its most recognizable titles, Crash Bandicoot, not only predicted how obsessed with gaming people could become a decade before MMORPGs, but ironically focused on children. While homesick from school, Lisa dismisses Marge's suggestion of trying Bart's video game Dash Dingo, but once she starts playing, she becomes so infatuated that she neglects the schoolwork sent home for her.
I trust you got the homework I assigned.
The Wind in the Willows? Oh yeah, Ralph brought it over.
Perfect. Then I won't need to excuse you from the test.
Oh, test?
Game over, mate.
Number 5. Menthol Moose needs some fresh air. In 1988, R.J. Reynolds Tobacco Company debuted their anthropomorphic cartoon mascot Joe Camel to American consumers. While his whole aesthetic was meant to make Camel cigarettes part of the hip lifestyle, though critics had a different read and appeal to younger smokers.
The tobacco company's been hooking young people for many years. It's an addictive product, and then they can't get off the product later.
After an investigation, the FTC would ultimately argue that Joe Camel had become, quote, as recognizable to kids as Mickey Mouse, end quote. So in 1992, the Simpsons writers held Camel's feet to the fire.
I'm gonna be riding on a pack of cigarettes?
Mm-hmm. We think you're the perfect spokesmodel for Laramie's.
When Lisa is named Little Miss Springfield through sponsor Laramie Cigarettes, she's required to ride atop a giant Laramie parade float, while Menthol Moose, a thinly veiled parody of Joe Camel, tosses packs of cigarettes to the kids in the crowd. It's a shock for Lisa, who puts an end to it by literally crushing Menthol Moose under a giant pack of smokes.
I'm tired of being a corporate shill. From now on, I will speak out against the evils in society, from dog napping to cigarettes.
Number 4. Take a memo on your Newton. During Apple's Steve Jobs-less period, the company undertook several new projects, including a personal digital assistant, the Newton, which began hitting store shelves in the summer of 1993.
Newton's about a lot of things, really.
I think the part that excites me the most
has to do with helping people keep in touch.
The idea behind Newton is that it's an assistant, something that actively helps you as you capture, organize, and communicate your ideas and information.
Though some praised the device at the time, a recurring criticism was the device's undercooked handwriting recognition software, and production of the Newton was halted in 1998. The Simpsons took a shot at this supposed technology marvel in 1994. During a school assembly, Kearney instructs Dolph to,
"Hey Dolph, take a memo on your Newton. Beat up Martin."
When he annoys them, the device incorrectly translates this to the now iconic phrase, "Eat up Martha," causing Kearney to whip the device at Martin's head. Allegedly, the phrase "Eat Up Martha" became a cautionary tale for Apple employees when developing the iPhone keypad. Now that's staying power. Number 3. A barbershop quartet bigger than Jesus. Do we even need to explain who the Beatles are? Though the band had been referenced on the show before, the writers wanted to center the episode around Homer in a barbershop quartet that was, quote, a big parody of the Beatles.
Dad, when did you record an album?
I'm surprised you don't remember, son. It was only 8 years ago.
Dad, thanks to television, I can't remember what happened 8 minutes ago.
Writer Jeff Martin, an obsessive Beatles fan, produced a treasure trove of references and parodies. It would take too long to list them all, but more overt references include the name The B-Sharps, the design for the group's albums, Barney's relationship with a Japanese conceptual artist, and a finale rooftop concert mirroring a similar 1969 performance.
I can't remember the last time we were all together.
Last year on that stupid Dame Edna special.
Throw in guest George Harrison and one of John Lennon's most infamous quotes, and you've got a hilarious send-up and love letter to 4 music legends.
Can't believe you're not still popular.
What'd you do? Screw up like the Beatles and say you were bigger than Jesus?
All the time. It was the title of our second album.
Number 2. Planet of the Apes. The movie or the planet? The Broadway musical has been a cultural mainstay since 1927's Showboat, and thousands of shows have since been produced. From legends like Rodgers and Hammerstein to Stephen Sondheim.
Ever hear of Planet of the Apes?
The movie or the planet?
The brand new multi-million-dollar musical. And you are starring as the human.
It's the part I was born to play, baby.
Though not the most common in the 20th century, there were still some well-known film-to-stage musicals produced, including 9, Little Shop of Horrors, and Beauty and the Beast.
This play has everything.
Oh, I love legitimate theater.
Though these did not directly inspire them, the Simpsons writers created an unlikely send-up in 1996, a musical adaptation of the 1968 sci-fi film Planet of the Apes, starring Springfield mainstay Troy McClure. The show not only spoofs classical musical style, but also includes a now-famous satire of Falco's Rock Me Amadeus. What's truly amazing is how predictive this musical parody is, as the model would become a genre unto itself during the 2000s.
I love you, Dr. Zayas!
Number 1. Jumping on the YA bandwagon. There's no denying the 2000s marked an uptick in the popularity of young adult fantasy literature.
You're T.R. Francis. You wrote the Angelica Button books. They're my favorite fantasy novels.
Yes, it's me, the creator of your beloved magical world.
With the success of the Harry Potter book series and TV shows like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, this goldmine market became flooded with multiple YA franchises, including The Hunger Games and Twilight. However, the genre's perceived commercialization of literature, reported reliance on ghostwriters, and market saturation led to repetitive elements, such as the chosen one protagonist and magical school setting.
Everything I believed about young adult literature is a lie.
This is all perfectly satirized in this season 23 episode. Lisa discovers one of her favorite authors is actually just a figurehead. Homer assembles a crew consisting of his son, Patty, Mo, Principal Skinner, and Professor Frink, and guest star Neil Gaiman, to develop their own book. Their discussions, which eventually produced the Troll Twins of Underbridge Academy, explicitly point out many of these tropes and trends.
Our book could be about an orphan troll.
Trolls live under bridges. The school should be under a bridge, the Brooklyn Bridge.
And the cool kids are elves, the cheerleaders are pixies, the stoners are gargoyles.
And they play a complicated sport which makes no sense called fuzzle pitch.
Let us know in the comments which Simpsons moments best captured the cultural zeitgeist, and which just completely missed the mark for you.
I am the Lizard Queen.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from Watch Mojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.